All right, what is going on? This is episode 470 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football, and I know you see the title. And this is going to be a different episode because I don't usually do these type of episodes where, speculation or thinking this, that, and the third for the most part. Not when it comes to like players and transactions or who needs to be on what team or whatever the case may be. But the more I think about this could be a possibility. And I know there are going to be some Ravens fans look at me crazy. I'm looking at you, Engraven Vids. Shout out to Engraven on Vids on YouTube. One of my closest, I'll say YouTubers, somewhat of a mentor. I really appreciate what he does for the Ravens. But I know he's going to probably come at me with this one. But I have a real question about this, and I really want to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. Is Lamar Jackson a real possibility for the Falcons? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it because there are some things that I see there that could be a possibility, and the way things are lined up for the front office for both teams, I'm going to really give you my thoughts and opinions. If this is your first time here, welcome. Like I said, I can, I talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. I can be found on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. If you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, you see the TV in the background. I can move a little bit. You see my little man back there. That's my son. He wants to play video games now. He's 3 years old. He wants to play video games. So you're going to see like a car just riding around, free roaming on the video game. So he's learning controls because he loves cars and monster trucks and stuff. So if you see that in the background, that's what it is. Okay. I could be found on Anchor, Stitch, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, and all the stuff down in the description. If you want to support all that's down there, I am still finalizing the situation on locals, so I can give you more content over on locals. I'll have that link up and running by the end of the weekend. So hopefully all that will come to fruition. So I'll jump on that at that time. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I've talked enough. I said too much, way too much. All right. Lamar Jackson still hasn't signed with the Ravens. I don't know how that contract is going. I understand that he bet on himself. Him and his mom are pretty much doing the agent thing. And I guess the contract wasn't on point with the contract offer, I guess, if there was an offer. The negotiations just cut off. There was nothing there for Lamar Jackson to say, hey, I want to sign a long-term deal with this. And it seems like the Ravens are pretty much stuck in the mud. Now, I don't follow the Ravens. I wish I had Engraven Vids over here to talk about it. Hopefully, when the Falcons play the Ravens, I'll try to get in touch with him, and maybe we could talk a little one-on-one about the team. So, I think that'll be really interesting. But as far as I know, negotiations have pretty much stopped. But the Falcons are lining up to have a lot of money in cap space next year. And no negotiation talks. Falcons with a lot of cap space. The way the Falcons are running this team, it's the quarterback position, the way it's ran for the Falcons will be perfect for Lamar Jackson. Almost scary. Now, I know we have Desmond Ridder. I know that. And I know some people are going to say, well, what about Desmond Ridder? And look, I still think Desmond Ridder is going to end up being the starter for the Falcons in the long run. Because I don't really subscribe or hang on to the notion that we're going to get Lamar Jackson. I'm not one of these guys that are going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I want Lamar Jackson on the team, but I'm looking at it from our front office standpoint from both sides. The Ravens haven't signed him. The Falcons look like they're lined up to sign him, and I don't know what the front office is thinking or what are they saying, because they can do a lot of things that are actually unpredictable. We didn't see the Calvin Ridley trade coming. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Dean Marlowe being traded. You know what I mean? So there's some things out there that we don't know what's happening. But when you look at the money, you look at the quarterback situation, you look at a generational talent like Lamar Jackson, which, and to be honest with you, I think he's a generational talent, but I do think he has some issue throwing the football, which I definitely could do another episode on that for another day, because long story short, I think he can throw the ball, but I've seen him make some crazy, weird decisions throwing the ball. No quarterback's perfect, but at the same time, you look at some of those passes, they're head scratchers. But this type of talent and the way that the Falcons are structured, I would not be surprised if the Falcons go make a run at him. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sitting there saying that's going to happen. I'm a Desmond Ridder guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a Desmond Ridder guy, and but I've been surprised before. Also, you have to understand, I know this was prior to Ridder, because I know some Atlanta Falcons fans are going to be saying this, that, and the third. Prior to Ridder, the Falcons tried to go for Deshawn Watson. And yeah, Deshaun Watson has his baggage, but if you're going to go after Deshaun Watson, why wouldn't you go after Lamar Jackson? You know what I'm saying? So, and I already know how Arthur Smith is. He's going to try to go after the best player possible. They went after the best player possible, even with the cap problems that they had, and they just pieced together a pretty good team with a lot of good players that they got on one-year deals. A lot of good players. You also have to understand, with these guys on one-year deals, that's more money that's going to be falling off the cap money. I mean, falling off the roster. So we're already looking at cap space that we have now going into next season once the dead money is freed. Then you're talking about a lot of one-year deals that may not be doing what they do. Son, press the... Oh, I'm about to say, you know how to back up. That's my son playing the game, like I said, so it is what it is. You know what time it is when it comes to with Arthur Smith. He's not afraid to go after a player. You know, they tried to go after Deshaun Watson, even with Matt Ryan on contract, and they'll, you know, Desmond Ridder is a guy that they like. I know they are, but if you're able to sign Lamar Jackson and get players around him, like you already got Pitts, London, you got, you know, Tyler Algier, you got Caleb Huntley, you got Cordell Patterson. If you don't, and you got to think about it, if you don't sign Marcus Mariota, that's $12 million that's added to the bonus. I mean, to the cap. There's a high possibility that they could make Lamar Jackson the highest paid quarterback ever. They have the money to do so. Will it curtail a lot that the Falcons could do? Yeah, but then again, the Falcons already are, you know, playing with, you know, low money, you know, on the cap already. You got to understand that the Falcons are already running with like 65 or 64% of cap money that they're using now, and look what they're doing at 4-4 in the lead of the division. And the way things looking, that's just going to get better because Michael Thomas, I don't even know how much he played for the Saints, but Michael Thomas is out for the year. He's probably going to be out for the year. He's on IR with a toe injury. So that's one less weapon that the Falcons have to worry about against the Saints when we play them again. You know, I don't know what the Bucs are doing. The Panthers we got to go back and play them again. So you got to imagine what the Falcons are doing now. Just say if they do let Ridder mature and be a better quarterback than Mariota. Let's say if they get Lamar Jackson. You know, like I said, I'm not into the speculation game at the end of the day. I don't think that this is going to happen. But what if the Falcons try to go at them and succeed? We can circle back to the front office. Honestly, at this point, what are the chances that Lamar Jackson actually going to re-sign with the Ravens after all this is going on? I mean, unless the Ravens decide to throw everything at him and give him the money, you know, because money talks, and he's already been a Baltimore Raven all this time. I can see what a loyalty to the fan base, loyalty to the organization, which I don't know if that's a real possibility right now or if that's a real thing right now if he's loyal to the organization. But him being already in Baltimore could be, you know, bode well. Hometown discount or hometown, whatever you want to call it. But with the Falcons with all this cap space and they decide to say, hey, look, we're going to go all in. Lamar, we're going to give you $55 million contract, $55 million a year. You know, 275 guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Falcons are lining themselves up to do something like that. You know, so you gotta, or it could be a situation where the entire contract is guaranteed because of the Deshaun Watson contract. Thanks to Deshaun. I'm not saying that it should happen, but the market said itself, right? Right? Terrible contract by the Browns, in my opinion. But when you look at this is something that it could be a possibility. Like I said, like I know there's other people out here that is actually done this type of content talking about Lamar Jackson, and I really didn't want to think about it. I really want to do it because I don't do these type of videos or do these type of episodes when you speculate on other team players. But when you look down the road and you see what's going on here, I'm like, all right, what is really happening? Is this a possibility? Now, I know that the Falcons, we should be focused on the Chargers. We should be focused on the rest of the season. But I think this is something that I want to talk about. It's something that I was just thinking about. You also have to understand that Lamar Jackson, before I get out of here, Lamar Jackson turned down a $250 million contract with the Ravens. $250. So, what's to say that the Falcons won't give him $275 guaranteed? You know what I'm saying? Or give him a did I say that right? I want to go back. $275 million sign. Now, I think I said that wrong. What if he does give him a 5-year, $55 million contract with that could be right. I think I said that right. We just going to go with it. Son, you got to back up, son. You just running into the tree. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm not going to stay here too much longer, but I want to know what you guys think. Is this a real possibility? Because I'm looking at this now and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it will happen, but we saw what the front office was able to do to try to get Deshawn Watson. We know that they're not afraid to get a quarterback that fits their scheme. Marcus Mariota. I think Desmond Ridder fits the scheme as well, and I think that's what's going to end up happening. But is this a real possibility? Could Lamar Jackson jump over to the Falcons and actually make some noise? Because you got to think about it. I'm not saying that the Ravens offense isn't talented, but Lamar Jackson with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Zacchaeus, Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, Caleb Huntley. That's sick. That's a nasty combination right there, to be honest. Because all the guys I just named are under contract. They're not under these 1-year deals. Cordell's here for another year. Kyle Pitts is in his rookie contract. Drake London's in his rookie contract. I think Zacchaeus might be under the 1-year deal still, maybe. Algier and Huntley, I'll be crazy if they don't re-sign Huntley. But we'll see. If you like this commentary, hit the like button. Share this podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekend. A lot of football going to be going on. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Be on the lookout for the locals because I think they're going to be able to put more content over there. Also, all the links are down in the description if you want to support in any other way, fashion. I want you guys to have a good weekend. I want you guys to enjoy, the time that you have sitting back, laid back, and doing all these other things that you can do on the weekend. I'm going to find my time to make things happen as well. We'll be making other content throughout the weekend on the YouTube and Rumble channels. Hopefully you guys subscribe over there and check it out. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to check my son over here, see how well he's doing on this game. He's just learning the controls and driving. He's doing a pretty good job. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Bye-bye. Tell them again, baby. Tell them bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Peace.